Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. I'm gonna go straight to it and get into it right off the bat here and tell you why that it's no bullshit and it's not no conspiracy theory, that everything that went on in the past 5 years from 2020 up until before Trump became president was literally they were literally laying the groundwork for an insurgency. Those who criticized the Capitol riot. This, my friends, and addressing my haters if they're out there, this is all my reasons why I despise and detest activists. And I'd be goddamn if I'd have any of those try to stick their finger in my face or their fist in the air, death to the police and power to the local badasses. You're gonna use your enforcing class to tell me how my life is gonna be. This is all this here is in this video is why I have no respect for and detest activists. And everybody who did all those vandalism marches, even the ones that were marching and blocking traffic, intimidating citizens, that was a dress rehearsal for an insurgency. And you've seen all that shit happening. And then in the past year or two, before Trump, before we even knew Trump was going to be president, you've seen all the bullshit go on, and even my Pittsburgh TV news. They were cutting back the police force and telling people, they were literally saying on the news that there's times that the police weren't going to be coming. And you've seen all these YouTube videos, and I did YouTube videos talking about the YouTube videos I've seen, what they were doing in Canada. I'm hoping how Canada wises up too. I hope that stuff was doing in this Trump presidency pushes Canada and the UK to wise up, so they're not destroying themselves. But the fact that you've seen all that shit going on over the George Floyd riots, over a guy who threatened did a home invasion and threatened a pregnant woman and her baby, and all those pro-abortion activists who were marching in his name and doing violence in his name, then Roe versus Wade gets overturned, and I'm laughing my ass off. Yeah, they deserved it. But anyway, we had that, and then we had the recent shit going on where they're announcing that the police aren't coming. A deliberate allowing of every single immigrant to come in droves, most of them criminals. And during that time, you were hearing about they were squatting, and there was communities that were literally arresting the homeowners because these people were somehow changing the utilities. And in a lot of our book, in my book and a lot of other people's books, that's fraud. If, say for example, if I try to do that to my neighbor, I wouldn't be able to go in their house and have the police kick them out of their house. Not in this town. But in these other communities, you had communist magistrates and police already, and politicians and mayors already installed in all these cities and towns. So that's how they were able to do the unthinkable. You had these people, some of them illegal immigrants, and some of them were just low-lifes off the street too, but mostly illegal immigrants. You're seeing a lot of squatting, right? And you're seeing a lot of people, whether both illegal immigrants and protest marchers and your homegrown thugs and local badasses, both black and white, which the far left was deliberately tolerating and letting them out of jail, refusing to prosecute, and the police not coming. Those people being able to steal cars and go in people's houses. And well, the fact that you were hearing these unthinkable cases of these people squatting, what does that tell you? when you're deliberately allowing all this shit happen, that's a communist takeover. And that what you're basically seeing, what communists typically want to do when they take over is confiscate property. And something was telling me they already had a takeover plan. They thought the revolution was on. And matter of fact, yeah, I said it many times before during the George Floyd riots. They got arrogant, everybody on TikTok and online and the far left, these brat kids, pretty much rooting for and admitting and flaunting the very things that the smarter far left in higher places were smugly denying. And I said it repeatedly in videos too. They made videos about the very fact that that's why Trump won. They thought the revolution was on. They thought the revolution was on back in 2020. Hey, Biden had the presidency for a little while. However you want to say he got in, they probably most likely messed with those machines. You know they damn did. But, well, now the other side is accusing that now too because Trump won. A lot of people got tired of that shit. So it worked out for the good. You had a bad president that, however you want to say he beat Trump, being in there for a while and seeing how horrible he was. But yeah, they were planning to get Kamala in there, you know. But you know, I don't want to ramble on about that. Everybody knows all about that. But anyway, what I was saying in this video, you want to look back in 2020 up until before Trump had the presidency. It was all there, squatting, taking over of property. And communist, far left mayors and politicians and magistrates, democratic socialists being in there, just literally letting it happen. We're seeing the unthinkable. We never would think we'd see such a thing. You're hearing about the squatting. Them going right to people's houses, taking cars. That sounded a lot to me like the precursor to communist takeover. You already had they thought that they had all of us by the balls. I mean, that's a what do you call it? I want to call it a trademark trait. A very obvious trait of communists who, when you have when a person has a communist revolution, like what they did in the Soviet Union and these other damn countries. Well, look, Cambodia, they were murdering kind of people. They're using from 2020 up until before Trump presidency, those protesters, vandals, degenerate pieces of shit, which all should have died of COVID, if COVID really was what they said it was. I mean, if it was really the big plague they said it was, those people were all in numbers. If we ever had a big plague that's actually does kill people, and you would want those people to make the mistake again and be out there in crowds trying to vandalize and protest, because if there was some kind of big plague and it was real, they would all be dead, and rightly so, and we'd be rid of any such people. Because like I said, that was dress rehearsal for a communist takeover, and the symptoms, the arrogant, brazen confiscation of property, those symptoms were all there. There was squatting, letting all these illegals in, and turning these protesters, inciting these riots, what they were doing in 2020, and bringing the illegals in there, and pretty much telling them what they're allowed to do, and they were confiscating property, squatting, which they shouldn't have been able to do that, but yeah, they were doing it. It was like insane. But there you had it. If you got this far in this video, yeah, that's what I'm telling you right off the bat, with as little rambling as possible. Yeah, and I believe in just retribution, which, yeah, not like you want to have a lot of people dead, but my mixture, my combination of Christianity and the occult, it means just retribution, and I'm more one of the many self-proclaimed people who interpret the apocalypse, or an apocalypse, if you will. I mean, I operate way different than that YouTuber Sticks Hexenhammer 666. I watch him for his politics, but I don't agree with everything he says, and I don't believe in the legalization, the liberal or outright legalization use of all drugs. Somebody wants to smoke the sweet leaf a little bit, and it's their business. But long as they don't just be able to even do that any way they feel like it. But yeah, I believe all the stoner, alcoholic, degenerate brats were the ones in the 2020 riots. And yeah, and a few of those. So I believe to counter those stoner, alcoholic, low-life brats, the beer-drinking far-right people, you know, with the American flags that drink beer and they want to be half drunk, go after, right the bear arms, fuck around and find out. I mean, they would have deserved it too, but yeah, a lot of people did deserve to die of COVID if COVID really was what they. But it was only killing the elderly, the people with the immune systems are weaker to start with, for the most part. But not going on about that. But when I bring up my beliefs, unlike the conservative, if you will, I believe in the right to bear arms, but I'm of my combination of my beliefs, believe in just retribution, consequences for action. You know, whether you're dumb enough, there's bad police out there that you could get killed by. If you knowingly do something stupid, you're taking that risk. And that same token, you can also get killed by a homeowner, or one of their relatives come after you if you home invade a member of their family. You pick the wrong, that victim has picked the wrong victim. You know what I'm saying? Who they're related to. They could be wind up in the trunk of a car and wind up somewhere. And they deserve it. They brought it on themselves. How's that? And to bring up to one more thing there too, why I can literally say that a whole fraction of the population in 2020 was batshit crazy and insane, is because they were literally doing vandalism and disturbing the peace and harassing all over the country, inciting riots in the name of some guy who did a home invasion and was almost a baby killer. So that tells you a lot about the far left and the communist wannabes. And if you got this far in this video, that's why I don't have no respect for those kind. And I'll be goddamn if I would have any of those people telling me how my life is going to be, or telling me what I'm going to do, or telling me what I can have and what I can't have. Even if I admit that a part of the real far right that wants that worships police state, that exists out there, if it's any consolation to the far left, I said, yeah, there's the people on the far right exist, the ones that think I should get a haircut, that worship police state, get a haircut and change some kind of my ways, or I get thrown in a cage. Even though those are out there, right-leaning people are not all like that. There is a radical right, but hey, the radical left, go ahead and try to get your thugs after me. It's like some of us lean to the right, but unlike anybody that's MAGA hat wearing, whatever, conservative, there's some of us out there that's not as nice as they are, even if they have guns or whatever. I mean, I could argue that It ain't them you got to worry about. I mean, yeah, I'm sure they're armed and they have the flags and the MAGA hats and announce their presence, but you can argue in a way that you can at least see those because they announce their presence. But how many of us out there uh, that you're not paying attention to that you think are nobody? That can be their biggest mistake, in my opinion. You know, I mean, but that's where I stand on things, and that's why I say to you why I despise and detest activists.